Are we here? We here? We here? My camera situation, right? Got my water all in the way and shit. We here? We talking Canadian on Canadian crime. Is it? Is this a Canadian problem? They're trying to blame Kendrick. This is the reason why I'm having this talk today. I'm having this talk today because you see the media, what happened today, unfortunately, tragically, one of Drake's security guards was shot at his home at 2 in the morning. They said it was a drive-by shooting, yet the front door is taped off. So I don't know what to make of that. They said it was a drive-by, but for whatever reason, this area is taped off. Okay. A security guard was shot at Drake's home. Nobody knows the details as of yet. We just know one of his security guards was shot. So what's happening is we already see a narrative being painted. They're trying to associate it with the rap beef. And I'm going to tell you why this is something we have to watch out for. First off, this happened in Toronto. I don't know of too many Pyrus, Bloods, or Crips that are going to stamp their passport, one, to go to Toronto in general, unless it's Carabana or some shit like that. But why the fuck would a Crip go to Toronto? I don't know. Second, it wouldn't be over no bullshit like this. How the fuck would a LA Blood, Pyru, or Crip get to Canada with a gun? So, associating it with Kendrick is a non-starter. Secondly, to go on top of things, Drake is involved in a lot of beefs. He called out a lot of people. He's pissed off a lot of people. And he even said it. I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got enemies, got a lot of enemies. I hate that fucking song. I always hated that goddamn song. Got a lot of enemies. Song's always stupid. You ain't got enemies, nigga. You got people you fucked over that's mad at your ass for fucking them over. But that's a different story. So he has a lot of drama going on in his life right now. One of the beefs, issues, problems he has is with fellow Canadian, The Weeknd. And thank everybody over here on my backup YouTube channel for finding me over here at Cardology King. And what's up to everybody that's watching over on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. We're going to be, after this, we're going to go over to the other side and do some music tonight. So, there was a shooting last week here in LA, Encino, of The Weeknd's co-manager. And they're blaming it on a possible home invasion. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna get into that. But usually in home invasions, they don't really be carrying heat like that. They get in and get out. But a security guard was shot multiple times outside of an executive that worked with the Weeknd, an Iranian Canadian producer, also known as Cash XO, co-founded XO Records, and worked with several top hip hop acts. He said the crazy thing about it is Ismailian, that's his name, was recently lambasted by Drake in a diss track amid Drake's ongoing feud with the rap industry. But law enforcement and the music industry said the incident appeared to be an attempted home invasion, no connection to the music business. But they said this right away. So my question is this: how can someone Drake dissed had an attempted home invasion, shooting at his home? Same thing. They said attempted home invasion. We don't know. Drake's could have been an attempted home invasion. We don't know. The only thing we know that are facts is the Weeknd's manager, partner, who was recently dissed by Drake, security guard got shot. And then you come to the news of today, and that story is from the LA Times, April 9th, 2024. So we're talking about April 29th, April 29th. And I just put it in the chat. The story. April 29th. It's a little over a week ago. That's actually last Monday. That's 8 days ago. Last Monday, a shooting happened at someone Drake took a shot at. Now, Drake's security guard in Canada gets shot. And all we know between both stories is a security guard got shot in front of the home of a Canadian mixed child. That's all we know. But we see the media is trying to put it on Kendrick. But when the security guard for the Weeknd, when he was shot, the Weeknd's co-manager, someone Ismailian, someone Drake took a shot at in a diss. Let's highlight that. It's from April 29th. When he was lambasted by Drake in a diss track just recently. That didn't get put on hip hop. That didn't get put on Drake. Nobody talked about that. We've all been talking about these disses going back and forth. No one has been talking about the ongoing feud between the Weeknd and how his manager was dissed in a track by Drake. We already talking about these diss tracks that Drake is putting out. And somebody he dissed, their home got shot, and that didn't get blamed on hip hop? Is it because of the color? See, this is what we mean. Isaac Hayes Jr., all you niggas trying to play them bullshit ass color games. Just last week, same scenario. Security guard shot in front of a home of a Canadian-based mixed race entertainer. One raps, one does R&B. This man right here manages several hip-hop acts, from Lil Uzi Vert to Travis Scott. And he was recently ambassador in a Drake track from this track. Shooting at his home. It didn't get blamed on hip-hop. It didn't get blamed on none of the yellow boys. I said it. Because you niggas that's over here talking about some colorism and why we gotta be all this, y'all didn't say nothing. Y'all had a week to talk about the shooting at that home of somebody that Drake went at recently. Y'all had 8 days. That happened April 29th. It's May 7th. Y'all had 8 days to talk about that shit. Didn't say a goddamn thing. Then the minute Drake's home, Drake's security guard gets shot. Oh, is it Kendrick? What's wrong with us? What's wrong with black people? What's wrong with hip hop? That shit had been happening in Canada, nigga. Kendrick just proved through winning the beef. Canada ain't got shit on hip hop. That's hip hop light. That's diet hip hop. That's beyond hip hop. That's what Canada hip hop is. Beyond hip hop, nigga. What do they call that? What do they call that shit? That beyond meat, beyond hip hop? Nigga, fuck all that. That's rice cake hip hop. But the minute Kendrick verbally slays and yaga. Oh, did Kendrick have something to do with it? And you niggas are following along with the narrative. Fucking idiots. God damn, you ain't gotta follow everything the white boys say, nigga. Create your own goddamn narrative for once, black men. Fuck. Drake, it ain't no goddamn evidence whatsoever Kendrick is tied to the shooting of Drake's security guard at his home in Canada. No more than there is evidence that Drake is tied to the shooting of the Weeknd's homeboy who he lambasted, who he went at. From what we see, or from what we hear so far from law enforcement, all we can go is what we know so far. In neither case, the artist has nothing to do with the shooting. Not in Drake's case, not in the Weeknd's case. See, this is what I mean by owning the power of fiat. Being able to grab control and take control of narratives. What the fuck good is black media if you niggas ain't gonna take and wrestle goddamn control of the narrative and say what it is? Following behind white people. Well, I don't know if Kendrick could be part of it, and if he is a part of it, he gonna have to apologize. When was the last time you asked the goddamn college football team president to apologize when a riot happens after they win the national championship? You got white boys in college be shooting each other when they win NCAA championships, BCS trophies. You don't ever ask USC to apologize. Do you ever ask Universal Music Group to apologize? Or Warner Brothers Music for releasing the music? But I heard niggas talking about Kendrick should apologize if it... What? Yeah, Canada's impossible hip-hop. That stir-fried bullshit out of here. You see how easy it is for a narrative to latch on that has absolutely no basis in truth. I couldn't wait for my main channel to come back up. I'm gonna re-put this video back up on my main channel probably when it come back up. But you see, there's absolutely no connection. We literally have a story right here. And again, I'm gonna put this shit back in the chat room again. And if somebody could put it in the comments when it's done, one of my mods, one of my normal mods. I gotta assign some mods to this channel too. The link, I just put it again in the chat. This is from 8 days ago, in the midst of Drake battling somebody he called out. Their home got shot up. Amir Ismailian. Excuse me, I don't know how to pronounce these names too well because these aren't hip hop names. These aren't hip hop names, so I don't pronounce them too well. Every nigga I know named Amir, his last name is Johnson or some shit. Every Amir I know that's hip hop, niggas be named Amir Smith. Nigga, I know some niggas named Amir Eastman. I don't know what Ismailian is, but shit. His home got shot up in the midst of a feud with Drake. And this shooting was not pinned on hip hop. And Encino. You see this? You see how in real time they can have shootings at their residencies and nobody's blaming it on their community? Nobody's blaming it on their music? You see that? Even though they're still playing our music, even though they're still wearing our uniform with black faces when it's convenient, even though they're both Canadian, this is comparing like to like. A shooting where unfortunately a security guard was injured. And that's all we know. Look at the framing of this. Let's look at the headline. This is the New York Times. Security guard injured in shooting outside Drake's home in Toronto. The police said that they did not know whether the shooting was related to the recent exchange of increasingly personal diss tracks between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And if you heard the press conference, the police didn't come out and actively say that. They were asked that. They were asked repeatedly, was it retired? And they said that they're going to treat the case like any other case, and they weren't sure. But you see how it's framed? But look how it's framed over here. Security guard shot, possible attempted home invasion. Over here, the headline, is it tied to hip hop, basically? You got to go deep into the story to know that this man was feuding with Drake. Directly. Over here, headline. Look at this. So what we're getting is now they're going into details of look how much time they're spending on the rapper. Talking about the rapper, huh? Okay. Now he's a rapper. Okay. Now it's talking about the video. They're going into detail with Not Like Us. It's topping the charts. It's going into detail. So if you never heard the song, they're giving you the details of it right now. They even talk about Kendrick Lamar did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Let's see if they asked the Weeknd for comment down here. Let's go. Okay, no, over here. Okay, over here. They're keeping it to a possible home invasion. But over here, it's about hip hop. This is the LA Times got to say. Is LA Times going to talk about it? No, that's something else. But let's go to Twitter. Let's go to Twitter. Look at this. Look at this. One of my followers, this is somebody I followed CT, he says, the headline in Newsbreak is Drake security guard shot in drive-by days after Kendrick Lamar docks rapper's mansion in diss track cover. Let's see if we can search what's hot. Ovo was vandalized. Okay. Let's see here. What's going on over here? Let me see here. That's some other shit. Okay. Okay, I don't want to go too far into it. Okay, I don't know if I look for no more trending topics, but anyway, y'all get the picture. So I saw people doing think pieces on where this can go. Certain names I'm not gonna mention because I ain't trying to get in no Twitter spats with nobody. So I'm not in a space right now where I feel like getting in Twitter spats with anybody. So I'm going to avoid saying names. I'm gonna do that because I ain't trying to get no Twitter or YouTube back and forth. I got better things to do than deal with some of these weirdos out here. But we've had people out here that are going with the media narrative. And y'all can look them up on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all over the place, Instagram, and see, you'll see who we talking about here. They're all out there. But they're going with the narrative. What good is having a black voice if the black voice don't create the narrative? Especially in times like this where there's absolutely no evidence, there's no motive, and it's highly unlikely because one is based in LA and the other one shooting happened in Canada. I know some slick niggas, but I don't know too many that can sneak a gun into Canada. What are y'all trying to say? A nigga was cruising down I-95 in his 6'4" to get to Canada to shoot and do a drive-by and shoot a security guard? What? It's not even likely anybody from Kendrick's team did anything. Like, that's not even likely. We can't be cooperating with that. And on top of that, if none of you niggas was connecting Drake and his association with the Weeknd's manager, who he had recently dissed, whose home got shot up, if you didn't bring that up and connect it to hip hop, then don't bring this up and connect it to hip hop. You can't pick and choose. But I'm gonna tell you this: if you do pick and choose, you know what you're showing? You're showing you're a hoe. Stop being hoes, niggas. You ain't gotta toot your ass up to be the good Negro every time something that can possibly be connected to a black person. To a dark-skinned black person like Kendrick. See, y'all are using these colorism arguments when it's convenient. When just last week, Kendrick talked about Drake being a half-breed, a lot of you niggas was talking about that colorism shit and how it was wrong. And what's wrong with light-skinned niggas? And what's wrong with being mixed breed? We all black when the police pull us over. Oh, but when a shooting happens 8 days ago of another artist that you just recently mentioned and dissed, when their home gets shot up, you get the light-skinned Canadian half-nigger privilege of that not being connected to hip-hop and your music. Oh, but let the dark-skinned Kendrick Lamar slice and dice your yellow ass. Now he's somehow supposed to be brought up with when the light-skinned motherfucker's home gets shot up, the same way the other. Y'all niggas need to stop it. Stop being a hoe. Stop being the first nigga to run and wag your finger at other niggas. Sometimes shit just happens. And hopefully Drake's security guard recovers. And so hopefully does Amir Ismarin's security guard. Hopefully he recovers too. It's unfortunate. But we live in a crime-ridden world. And peace to Drake. Because that has to be... I don't want to see that man's home get shot up. He lost a rap battle, but shit. Your home is your peace. You don't want to hear about your people's homes getting shot up. That ain't cool. But to blame one on beef and not the other, when both were mentioned in the same beefs, that's what we mean by us as black Americans. We don't get to take the jacket off and put it on when it's convenient. We don't get the convenient hip-hop. I could be hip-hop and party, and then when I'm done being hip-hop and party, I have another community I can go to. We don't get that. That's why we draw distinctions and differences between us here that can't have one foot in one culture and one foot in the other. Because we treat it different. Hell, mostly we treat it different by our own goddamn own. You got niggas that are so-called for black people having whole think pieces last week on how it's wrong what Kendrick's doing. And then think pieces today on Kendrick's, what he did, somehow being the reason for this shooting. When you did not do the same to Drake when somebody he called out got shot. Shot at. Niggas is hoes, boy. Niggas be acting like hoes. Can't wait to repeat a white person's narrative. And goddamn afraid to open up a goddamn newspaper and create your own. I, DeJuan Brown, do not respect it. Let your nutsack niggas stop tucking them in when they come around. Ooh, look at me. I have a chance to blast another Negro. Where? Can I get a Scooby snack? Weird ass niggas. We got over 200 here on Twitter. About 20 on the backup channel. Oh shit, I didn't tag my main channel. I didn't tag it. My name is DeJuan Brown, creator of It's Bigger Than I didn't tag it. Let me see here. I'm not even live. Am I live? Whatever, I'll do this shit later. I'll do this shit later. Anyway, so I want to move on to talking about other shit going on. I was going through Twitter today, this morning, and I saw Boosie post some bullshit. Let's go. Let me see if I can find it. Where's that tweet? Here it is. Let me share this with you. Listen to Boosie right here. I've never seen so many men excited to see men tearing each other down through music. The men are more excited about this than the women. Let's break this down. Yes, hip hop tends to be a more masculine form of music, and it's dominated by male audiences. Women tend to listen to more rhythm and blues. Boosie, although they enjoy hip hop like the rest of us, they tend to be more into rhythm and blues and other forms of music. Hip hop generally tends to have more male hip hop fans. The same way men are the main ones that argue top 5 arguments all day. You don't hear women having knocked down, drag out arguments over who their favorite top 5 is. Men do that. So thank you for telling us the sky is blue, nigga. But here's, I don't go back to that first sentence. I've never seen so many men excited to see men tearing each other down. You mean like at your concerts? Especially early on in your career. All the bullshit you rapped about in the streets. You know how many prayers you put out to the universe through your music? Exhorting violence? Music is a prayer. And you got a lot of prayers up there talking bullshit. Okay? So He's over here talking about something. They talking about children, baby mamas, dirt, fiancés. Look at him stirring the juice, talking about the not safety. Artists aren't safe in any city. One time you rich and you wear it on you, you got to carry. It's the reason why Drake and Kendrick both have security. They're not safe regardless. Talking about when shit gets serious. This is somebody who spent his life talking that bullshit, rapping about that bullshit. Now all of a sudden want to seem like some goddamn moral authority. If you don't just sit your ass down, fanning the flames. Oh, this is last night, NBA. On the NBA.
Timberwolves, who have led by as many as 32, will take a 22.
These niggas played Kendrick.
The fourth quarter with the NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel.
Them niggas played. They not like us leading to the end of the quarter in the game last night. That's how you know Kendrick won. And then we got there. This is also what I want to talk about. Look at this nigga.
As Rick Rubin used to say. And there's always been a rap beef, but never so much excitement. And again, I know it's like pro wrestling, as Rick Rubin used to say. And it's okay to have these, I guess it's okay to have these skirmishes. I remember saving lives. I mean, I would get in the middle of people who were going to kill each other. Many, many times I saved the lives of rappers or saved.
How many lives did you save with this, Russell? And then digging a booty hole for a contract? Well, that's alleged. My bad. But anyway, you got Russell Simmons coming in from Bali. Did this nigga forget about why he's in Bali and not in New York or LA? Did he forget? Did this nigga forget? Then again, like I said, fanning the flames, fears of it turning into gunplay. But when the Weeknd's home got shot up in the middle of his battle with Drake, there was no talk about fears of gunplay. Even after the gunplay came involved, there was no. It's like a loud silence. Ain't nobody talking about it. Then he talking about the lives that were enhanced by
and try to look up and be excited about our brother's rise, not his fall. So when you tear someone down, or when you watch someone tear someone down, try not to get so excited. I know it's fun to watch to some people.
I swear. I need some gospel in my life. I need some deliverance, Lord. Lord, can you deliver us?
I had a nickel for every nasty meme. Man.
Lord, can you deliver us from these Negroes that act like we stupid and we forget the levels of degeneracy that they're accused of, that they halfway around the world running from? will you forgive us if we can't get past how full of shit these niggas look? And I know that, Lord, I know that I may sound hypocritical here. I might sound like a hypocrite. But in life, Lord, there's a paradox. I know, Lord, I say there are no perfect messengers, but only perfect messages for those willing to listen. Although, Lord, that's true, some of these niggas are still full of shit. A lot of these niggas need deliverance. Excuse me, Lord, if I don't listen to their words, if they happen to be your words, Lord. I just, as a motherfucking Christian, can't get past the smell of the dookie coming out of Russell Simmons' mouth. Not only because he's known for sliding down dookie dick like a popsicle, but because what he's talking about, Lord, goes against my moral code. When I see a man touching a 14-year-old girl the way Drake did, texting Millie Brown at 14 years old, I miss you. Why a man in his 20s, 30s will have a relationship with a 14-year-old girl, I don't know. But Lord, make sure I keep the discernment to see those actions and be proactive in identifying these predatory men, Lord. You literally have here, Lord, a predatory man named Russell Simmons talking to me like the good Lord don't give me a memory, Lord. We have Russell Simmons, a man known and alleged to frequent all the boys in the backyard, and the girls sometimes too. This is the man that the people say was with Kimora Lee Simmons, well, she was Kimora Lee at the time, as a 16-year-old, Lord. Hold on, let's see here, Lord. Let's look here, Lord. Luke's already in age when she met Russell. So look at this. And I got something with this. They said, look, she was a 17-year-old sophomore. I don't think she that slow and stupid. You ain't 16 sophomore year. 17. If she was a 17-year-old sophomore, that means she wasn't smart. And I know that's a smart woman. But they're saying they first met in 1992. Simmons, the co-founder of Def Jam, first met Lee while she was modeling at the New York Fashion Week 1992, according to People magazine. Despite him being 35 and she just 17. You see? You see, and there's a guy they say, but they sometimes be low key. A lot of times these goddamn forums be right in the long run. My wife be watching me reading these things and giving me the news. But either way it goes, when you combine that with some of the things he's accused of, that's who's telling us to not label. Let me say something. Me personally, I talked about Drake and that shit with him. Shouts out to my man Duncan Penderhughes. But for the music, for the beats, well, the gospel stuff I made. But that intro and that's him. Yeah, usually 10th grader, there's something fishy about that story. Because usually 10th grader is 14, now I would say 15, 16 on a lady, and I was 15 in the 10th grade. I was 15 in the 10th. They're saying she was 17 in the 10th. That means she would have had to be held back 2 years. Or worst case scenario, 1 year. Because some people are 16th and 16 in the 10th. But they for damn sure ain't 17. Unless they're on a short bus or some shit. And no disrespect to the people on the short bus. A lot of you turn out to be fine adults. But when we see people like Drake behaving the way he behaved, I used to talk about Drake when all that stuff was, when all them stories happened. I remember when that shit happened with the 14-year-old girl he was texting. I talked about that shit back then. Because the reason why these pedophiles and these weirdos exist is because when people see things, they tend to ignore. And I get why we ignore it. You ain't trying to fuck up your bag. You ain't trying to fuck up too many things. And I'm not telling everybody to be, I'm not saying every human has to be a mandated reporter. I'm not going to tell y'all to do what I wouldn't say. Me personally, I have put in no less than 6 mandated reports from a child being abused. I've done it. I have called them. I have called the hotline, the child abuse hotline, here in Los Angeles. One time when I had a mother who had a iron and imprinted it on her son's forearm right here. Yeah, nah, y'all need some help. This little motherfucker is, I'm thinking about this kid. And we ended up helping him out. I called another time. I remember I had this one story when I was working with kids. We had this one girl. And I'll never say my kids' names on air. But she was a beautiful soul. And she had a father. And they had a nice house in the hills here in LA. I'm not going to tell you which hills. But they had a nice house in the hills. And the father would bring her to sessions. But you know, sometimes in your spirit, you something's missing. You're like, yeah, they come, but it's something ain't right. And then the girl said something to one of the therapists. And she alluded, in past, she was talking about something else that she was dealing with at home. But she accidentally said too much. And the therapist was like, the dad, and this is one of them active dads too. And we was like, do you think the dad? And then we came in and had a therapy session and we listened to the dad. And anytime we have sessions with the dad and the daughter together, it would be the way he looked at her. And this ain't even a joke. He would look at his daughter the same way Joe Biden be looking at them kids. Y'all be saying Joe Biden, we got a fucking president in office that the people who complain about Trump got all the signs of one, allegedly. But y'all see the way Biden be looking at the little girl? This particular father used to give his daughter those kind of looks. And then she said something. And when she said something, because she trusted us, we had to make that call. We set up a meeting, and every time I've called somebody, I've given the authorities on people, I did it in front of them. I've never even gone so far as to make an anonymous call on people. I told them, you're going to have to be reported. This ain't right. This little motherfucker going to bed. We got a goddamn 14-year-old girl still peeing in the bed. That ain't right. There's a behavior, there's something going on, there's a trauma going on that's attached to that 14-year-old girl peeing in the bed in the bed. And through trying to figure out this trauma of this girl, why is this 14-year-old girl peeing in the bed? We come to find out she getting touched by her daddy. And I caught them motherfuckers in front of him. You don't fuck with kids around me. You don't behave like a nigga that's fucking with kids around me. So no, Russell Simmons, you sick motherfucker. No. If some shit look weird, we're gonna point it out. And if it ain't weird, then okay. Let it be like Michael Jackson. They investigated that motherfucker for 10 years and didn't find nothing. Because if you ain't doing nothing, you ain't gonna find nothing. They tried to get Mike. Couldn't do it because he wasn't doing nothing. Yeah, I found out that girl was getting molested by her father because she was peeing in the bed. She didn't come. Do you think her father would have never allowed her to come to therapy with us had he thought that we'd find out he's molesting her through her peeing in the bed? He just wanted to find out why his daughter peed. He's like, why do I have a 14-year-old girl peeing in the bed? That's the only thing he came to us for. And you know what? He admitted it too. It wasn't even a long court case. He didn't even go to court. He said guilty. He didn't even go to court. Because I guess he figured if you come inside this house, because this particular father would never allow us to meet in the home. And I was a field agency. So we went in 99.9% of our clients' homes. But we never went in this one. He always came to our office. Was actually a pretty inconvenient, thing. So, Russell Simmons. And let me talk about another kind of nigga. Let me talk about another kind of nigga. The dudes that be like, well, I don't know because there ain't enough evidence when it comes to, I'm not saying call Drake a pedophile. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you shouldn't accuse nobody of nothing. But what you should be doing is making it uncomfortable for them. You definitely shouldn't be supporting them. That's just my judgment. When I see the way certain people move, it's like I had an incident where I saw one of my favorite musicians ever in my life. Been loving this musician my whole life. Playing for one of my favorite bands. He did something very unsavory to a woman, and I saw it. And I just can't. I had love for this particular musician since I was 14 years old. I mean, pictures of this. I used to cut out pictures of this musician playing music in magazines. And I finally met this musician for the first time in my life last year. But I saw him do some fuck shit to a woman. And all I could think is how many other women he tried this with over them years. She was a grown woman and she handled it, and she handled the motherfucker well too. But I can't support that motherfucker no more. That shit was weird. Nah, nigga, you weird. And even if I hear one of your songs that come on, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna hit next. But I'm not gonna be like, oh man, look how great this person is. No. And I used to post about how great that motherfucker was all the time. How much I love what they played. I'm not even gonna tell you niggas the instrument because you probably will know who I'm talking about. But no more. No more that. No more giving you this. No. You weird. Are you a good musician now? You're just not a good musician now. That's all. That you can do that. You see your favorite rapper texting a fucking 14-year-old. You should be like, I don't know about that, nigga. That's still hot, though. That's still hot, though. All right. And that's fine. Dance to the music. But to defend the motherfucker? I'm never going to begrudge nobody the music. The music is always independent. I'm still, even though I'm never the biggest R. Kelly fan, I'm still going to listen to Step in the Name of Love when it come on. Keep on stepping. Happy People. I'm still gonna play that shit. I'm not saying you should stop playing somebody's music. Don't ever mistake me for saying that. I ain't gonna say that. But you can withdraw all the dick holding, you niggas. Why are you holding the nigga's dick? Who is that borderline weirdo? Even if he, you in your late 30s and you still and I ain't talking about suspected. I'm talking about confirmed. I'm talking about the confirmed weird behavior. This here. I remember when this shit came out. I was like, oh, that nigga weird.
What about your relationship with Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great.
She's
great
14.
You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more." He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited. Yeah.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful.
About boys. If you didn't hear what she said about boys. Not that one. I don't want to sign in no goddamn TikTok. Let's see here.
You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more."
Millie Bobby Brown says Drake texts her boy advice. Friends don't lie.
We just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more."
Millie Bobby Brown says Drake texts her boy advice. Friends don't lie. Millie Bobby Brown met ago, Millie was asked about their friendship.
It's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more.
She then revealed what kind of advice Drake gives her.
About boys. He helps me. What? Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love
That part right there.
boys. He helps me. What? Yeah.
Drake gives her.
About boys. He helps me. What? Yeah.
Drake gives her.
About boys. He helps me.
What kind of advice Drake gives her?
About boys. He helps me.
What kind of advice Drake gives her?
About boys. He helps me.
What kind of advice Drake gives her?
About boys. He helps me.
She then revealed what kind of advice Drake gives her.
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love
What's
him.
his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
She then revealed what kind of advice Drake gives her.
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love
What's
him.
his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
She then revealed what kind of advice Drake gives her.
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah.
Look at the nigga. Look at the nigga. Look at the brother. See the creepy, the white woman, they all like laughing. Look at the brother. He know. The brother like, shit.
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah.
Shit. Look at bruh man. Bruh man like, nah. Nah, he know. That's the immediate look of somebody who knows. It ain't nothing about that right. Why is a man in his 30s talking to a girl? Native Jeff Smith, my brother, can you answer this question for me, man? Chat, come on. I know this is my backup channel, man. I don't have the normal amount in my backup channel. But, bruh.
More.
She then revealed what kind of advice Drake gives her.
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That brother knows. They're covering it like it's normal. Look at him. He knows. He knows that's not normal. I would trust this brother right here. I don't know who this black man is, but whoever he is, we got to follow him and let's pray and protect this brother right here, and pray the industry don't corrupt this brother right here. Can we find his brother's name and pray that the industry protects him? He knows. Look at his face. He knows that's not right, but he also knows that he works for them white folks, and he better fall in line. So watch what he does.
He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
It took him a while.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
See, look, he had to he had to give them the Negro laugh. Like, I'm not even mad. This is the laugh. Every black person knows how to give the coon laugh. Like, because we all did it when we were younger, because we had to. We all got it in us to give. You got to give, especially with him. Every brother got the coon laugh to give just to diffuse the situation, because we ain't trying to be the ones that's the target. Because we know when white folks get mad, they target us. You see how they both looked at him? Look at his reaction. He's the only one uncomfortable. Let's watch the body language here.
That stays in the text messages.
They look at him. Okay, what do you think? See, when they said about the boys, they looked at each other.
About boys. He helps.
See? About boys. And he's like, what the fuck? This first look is disgust. He's disgusted.
Me. What? Yeah.
And then he,
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful.
That's a long gasp. He's still gasping. And while he's still gasping, they're looking at one another. Look at this. Body language is words are only 8% of communication. Body language is like 40-something% of communication. Tone of voice is the other 30. Excuse my numbers. But 92% of communication is split between body language, tone of voice, and something else I forgot. But she look like Steve Nash, don't she? Well, anyway, they looking at each other. He's still gasping while they're looking at each other.
Wonderful, I love him.
Now they look at him. Then she looks at him, and he still ain't finished gasping. See how that was real quick? That was real quick. She flashed at him, but he's still gasping. He's not giving her the reaction that she wants. He's like, oh shit. He's still gasping. So she looks real quick and then looks right away. He's just now ending his gasp. He's just now ending. The black man has the most integrity out of these three people. And then look.
You know,
he knows that's dangerous. She's still looking down. She's looking down.
that stays in the text.
That stays in the text. He didn't ask the question. Hold on, who asked the question?
I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know,
She asked the question, what's his advice? The white lady asked the question.
that stays in the text.
Let me go back a little further.
I love
What's his
him.
advice with
What's his advice? She's the one that asked the question. He's still gasping. He doesn't have his breath yet back in time.
boys?
You know, that stays in the text message.
But you see, when they laugh, they look at him. And then he goes the whole, every nigga, we all got that laugh. We got to. If you're going to work in the white world, you got to have that. If you're a black man in the white world, you better have that show your teeth laugh, nigga, if you want to keep your job. And he gave it up right there. In his head, he thinking, this sick bitch right here. Let's see that interaction one more time.
She then revealed what kind of advice Drake gives her.
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, he's great. He's wonderful. I love
What's his
him.
advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
She had to look at him to say that.
Drake will be going to Atlanta, and Millie said she's super excited to go see him. So there you have it. The friendship we never knew we needed. So what are you?
Mid-30s. She's 14. And you sick motherfuckers are telling me I should look the other way. It's the reason why Russell Simmons is the one saying that. That's nasty behavior. That's nasty work right there. That's nasty. And remember, on push-ups, Drake said that he and Lucien are like Kobe and Shaq. The same Lucien Grange that's labeled in Diddy's sex trafficking lawsuit. You see this damage control done by Billboard magazine? They giving him the opportunity to fire back. They're trying a motion to dismiss all claims. He's in that, implicated, named as a defendant. of Diddy's sexual misconduct. This is the guy that Drake said is like, when Drake and Push Up said, we like Kobe and Shaq, this is who he's talking to, Drake fanboys. This is who he was talking about right here. So while all this is going on, while we could be talking about Drake and his decade plus of weirdo behavior and the CEO of Universal Music Group being implicated in a sex trafficking lawsuit with an Armenian music executive home getting shot up that was named in a Drake beef. We have all these things that are somewhat on record, on paper. But instead of talking about any of this from the fallout, you're trying to connect Kendrick, K. Dot, and make him a dot connected to Drake getting shot. And Drake's security guard getting shot in Canada. You see how far around the world you gotta go to tie the black American man to some bullshit? We got some immediate weirdo shit going on right in front of us that we need to be asking, hey, what's going on here? There's kids involved. This goes on men, women, and this goes on the men and the women of the society. We got kids involved here. Is this some sort of high-level sex trafficking ring going on? From some of the most powerful men in music, both behind the desk and in front of the mic? We should at least be looking in that direction. But y'all want to talk about, okay, this is possibly tied to Kendrick. While just last week, when the other man house was shot up, who was named in a Drake rap beat, you didn't say nothing about it. That's why I stand 10 toes down the way I talk about my pro-blackness and about my pro-Dewan Brown and self-first, self-love first. Because you got all these motherfuckers, as a black man, I know, anything halfway go wrong, you motherfuckers ain't going to want to hear what I got to say. So I'm not going to kiss your ass anyway. Live a life of kissing ass like all these niggas do. And then the minute something happens that you ain't got nothing to do with, if you fat, black, dark, if you look from South Central, if you from America and you don't have another lineage to run to, if you don't have another Latino community to run to, Fat Joe, Jamaican community to run to, Busta Rhymes, Canadian Jewish community to run to, Drake, Canadian Iranian community to run to, The Weeknd. They got places that they got communities that they can go and hide in that aren't marginalized by the media. We don't. So motherfuck anybody that tell me to stop talking the way I talk. You can suck my whole dick. Just like they would say back in 1992. Fuck out of here. Walking around scared. They ain't gonna fuck with, they don't fuck with us. Like, when the niggas gonna realize they don't fuck with us? All you dark-skinned niggas that's going around talking about some, oh, it's colorism. Well, where does the colorism talk now? They don't fuck with us. And that's fine. You don't have to fuck with us. I don't need your attention. I don't need your love. I love myself, first of all. I'm too busy loving my wife. I'm too busy loving my mom and my dad. I'm too busy loving my friends. Man, we got a dope community, man. So much self-love with it. We got in black America, man. And I live in LA where they hardly know black people here no more. Guess what I do? I find the events where we at. My black friends, that's where it's at. And I have friends of other races. Like I told y'all before, one of my best friends is goddamn from India. I got love for that motherfucker too. I'm not gonna tell y'all what my main channel's already suspended, so I'm not gonna tell y'all what me and my Indian homeboy call each other. But man, we only got enough space for a few people at a time anyway. Especially if you live in life and doing your thing. You only got so much time to give. That means you don't have time to give to people who don't like you. You don't have time to give to people who never will like you. There are some people who black people, they'll just never like us. They'll love basketball. They'll love Kobe and Shaq. They'll love our music. They'll love our dances. They'll come around us when times are good. But they don't fuck with us. Let's just be real, yo. They don't fuck with us, yo. And that's fine. Now, let me go into Drake's weekly card. I'm going to go into Drake's card of the week. We're on my Cardology channel, so I will be remiss if I don't go into some Cardology. Salute to everybody watching me on Twitter. If you're looking for me on YouTube, I'm on my backup YouTube channel at Cardology King. When I'm done with this, we're going to jam out to some music over on Twitter. But look at this. This is something I saw on Post Malone's Facebook. He said, from an insider, waiting on proof, informative document. So this is alleged. I saw this on not Post Malone, my bad. Not Glasses Malone, not Post Malone. The real Malone, Glasses Malone. I saw this on his, not Post Malone. My bad. I saw this on Glasses Malone Facebook. So this is alleged. PG Lang, this Kendrick, EXO The Weeknd, as of yesterday, were asked by Universal Music Group to end the beef with OVO, Drake. Kendrick apparently isn't budging at all, but Universal Music Group is pressing hard for their request to stop the beef. So they're pressing The Weeknd, because remember, The Weeknd is also beefing with Drake. That sounds about right. They said that Universal Music Group also had a Zoom meeting with all of the parties involved, and they want Kendrick either directly or said through PG Lang to post a statement clarifying that Drake isn't a pedophile. Why do they need to do that? Since when? And if Kendrick ends up posting it, I don't want y'all getting mad and giving backlash. Kendrick's also under Universal Music Group. If he doesn't do what they tell him to do, then he's going to have to suffer the consequences and be a slave to his deal the rest of his life. Promise you they'll never let him get out of it if he doesn't. So Kendrick is going to have to do what he has to do so his next album can be released, okay? Understand how the game works. So if he ends up having to apologize, you can damn near guarantee this is why. You damn near guarantee this is why. I said the pedophilia accusations directed at Drake are costing Universal Music Group, Nike, and other parties a lot of money. Kendrick hit him. So if Kendrick apologizes, we know where it came from. And I would not be mad at him if he did. That's business. Somebody said Kenny can release under a different name. Well, why don't you be the one to take on that burden first? That's how we got to be with our artists. You got to understand. Yes, they could do other things like that too, but you don't understand the amount of work and the amount of red tape that's involved. It's only 3 major distributors now: Sony, Warner, and Universal Music Group. If you're not under one of those 3, no one's going to hear your shit. You got to be under one of those 3. That's just the way the industry is set up now. You won't hear your streams on TikTok. All that stuff is set up through one of those 3. So we got to be realistic. And we cannot ask more of our celebrities than we ask of ourselves. That's another rule we must have as a people. We cannot ask more of our celebrities than what we're willing to do or of ourselves. And I know me personally, I'm not about to switch up my goddamn name. So, but I'm also not signed to the Universal Music Group. But we all know Kendrick won, so what would it hurt for him to say, hey, Drake isn't a pedophile? What would it hurt? Most of it'll hurt Kendrick. And I'm not going to pay that man's bills. I'm not going to be there. And then here's another thing. Once a black man does that, then all they got to do is spin a story on him, and 90% of the people telling Kendrick, oh man, you should have said that, man. They're going to believe anything these motherfuckers put out about him. So stop it. So these are Drake's cards for the week. What's today, the 7th? The shooting happened on the 7th. 10 of Clubs Day, card of the studio. Oh, it happened on Drake's Saturn Day. Saturn is your rules, it's your parameters. It happened on the day of his Saturn. Moon, 9 of Spades. That tells me that Drake right now, in his emotional state, he's dealing with an ending. And usually a 9 of Spades can deal with, like that. 9 of Spades can be a persona. So, and it can be any, but in this situation, it's a persona. It feels like emotionally, there's a persona that Drake's dealing with, that he's coming to face with. And the 9, because the spades are cards of illusion. And the 9 is when you come face to face with illusions, when you're dealing with 9 of Spades. The Ace of Spades is you still being caught way deep in the illusion. A 9 of Spades is you coming face to face with illusions. Man, if I was someone around Drake, King of Diamonds reward card. That means Drake made a lot of money this week. This is a lot of business. This is a good money week for Drake. That King of Diamonds as a reward. So, say what you want to say about this rap beef that went on between them two. Drake is about to get paid. But that 8 of Hearts is transformation. He has an 8 of Hearts as a transformation card. That's revelation of the truth, nigga. This week, with that, when did Kung Fu Kenny drop that? What was the date that Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams? What day was that? What day did Meet the Grams drop? What was the release date? What was Saturday, the 4th? What was it, the 4th? Three of Spades. See, the 3 of Spades. That was a 3 of Spades day for Drake. Okay. Yeah, 3 of Spades is dealing with trauma, dealing with trouble, dealing with problems. Three of spades is the card of direct confrontation. Let me give you an example. This, if y'all think I'm bullshitting when I say the three of spades is a card of verbal direct verbal confrontation, guess who's the three of spades? I'm gonna give you two three of spades people. I know off the top of my head. Dr. Randy Short. Yeah, y'all know Dr. Short don't give a fuck. He gonna say what the fuck he wanna say when he wanna say it. And Dame Dash. Dame Dash is a three of spades. Dr. Short is a three of spades. A personality trait of the three of spades, a trait of a three of spades day is verbal warfare, verbal confrontation. On the three of spades day, anybody can get it. And that was the day Meet the Grams drop. But it happened on Drake's personal three of spades day. Damn, that's cold. But again, when you come to me for a reading, I can, when I go through your chart, when I go through your week and your year and your 7 week, I can read your week, I can read your 7 week period, and I can read your year. And we can indicate with pretty damn good accuracy what kind of energies are going to be out there that you're going to be faced with. What kind of energies you're going to have to deal with. Based on the cards going on in your day, that'll tell me, okay, like if you come to me for a reading and you say, and I see a three of spades day, and it's on the Venus, like, for you, I'll be like, I would tell you, just don't get in. And people who come to me for a reading before, they'll tell you, especially like when you come to my $50 readings, if you just want a quick reading for the week, a lot of those people, they'll tell you. I'll be like, yeah, this ain't the week for you to get into an argument with nobody. Some shit, this ain't the week. They'll tell you. I have reviews on Google. They'll tell you. Get one of these weekly card readings, and we'll see. And I have membership packages of my card readings. I have my 6 week life coaching boot camp program, but we also have our $50 mini readings, which I'm about to take I'm about to take the mini readings up to $65. So you niggas got to the end of this week to get a $50 10-minute reading. They're about to go up to $65. So y'all got till the end of this week to get a $50 mini reading. Now this is Drake's 7-week spread. This is what's going on in the 7 week. People, I see in the chat room, y'all asking, why does he have to apologize? We're in a system of white supremacy. We do not own and control the system. You got to be very smart about how you move through the system. You got to be very smart. Drake is still, when it's convenient, one of them, and they recognize that. Drake, y'all understand, Drake is their tool, their primary tool. And any dark-skinned Negro fucking with that money is going to have a problem. Understand that. We got to deal with the world we live in, not the world we want. We get the world we want by living in the world we live in and making a plan for the world we want. Okay? But you got to be all the way present in the world that you live in. And you got to move very wise. And Kendrick is the king of clubs, so he's very wise. He's smart. All right? And so, not that, and I get where y'all coming from in the chat room. Don't give me, nigga, I get it. In my 20s, I was like, no, nigga, fuck that. These gray chin hairs taught me something. And observations. I've seen a lot of black people do really well in this country in entertainment by just shutting their mouth. Or when it's time to apologize, they're like, okay, sir, okay, sir, I apologize. Then they go back and they help black people out. So I see it every day. So these gray chin hairs gave me a little more wisdom. 10 years ago, I'm with you niggas in the chat room saying, fuck that. But observation and gray chin hairs has helped me evolve. And I'm the kind of person, as I spread wisdom, as I get wisdom, I spread wisdom. And I'm not going to sit like I'm some perfect fucking nigga. Hell nah. I used to think just like you, Native Jeff Smith, the rebel AKA. I was thinking just, if we had this same conversation in this YouTube 7 years ago, I'm gonna be like, no, fuck you, nigga. You better not apologize. But I didn't have these great chin hair 7 years ago either. When these grays came, the wisdom started to come with it. So thank you for allowing me to share my wisdom with y'all and not being offended, because I can talk very directly to my following. And I was raised by my grandfather, Percy Beeman, who, I talk direct, especially when I'm in my mood. So yeah, appreciate anybody that can handle it. So here, this is Drake's 7-week spread. That nigga Drake really is dealing with a mole in his camp. Y'all see that Jack of Spades in this Pluto? Pluto is something that you got to deal with down deep inside. If you come to me for a reading and I do your 7-week spread, if I see a Jack of Spades in your Pluto, that means Jack of Spades is a card of stealing and lying on the low end. On the high end is gamesmanship, sportsmanship. But on the low end but Pluto usually deals with lower end issues. I know I'm dealing with a high vibration of a Jack of Spades if it's in, say, Jupiter. In Jupiter, it will be a different read. But with the bling in his Pluto placement, that means Drake is dealing with people who've stolen from him in some kind of way. Lied about him, stole about him. That's in his world right now in the 7-week period that he's in. And you see he's coming up on the end of the 7-week period. His next 7-week cycle starts this weekend. So this is what he's been dealing with the last 7 weeks. This is what he's been dealing with the last 7 weeks. Transformation, 10 of hearts. That's the spotlight. The 10 of hearts is a good time to be in a spotlight. 10 of hearts, 10 of diamonds. Those two cards in particular, they're great to be the card. They're the cards you want in your card spread when you want to be in a spotlight, when you want to release something new, when you want to make a major announcement. That means being in the spotlight, good, bad, or indifferent. But that Jupiter Ace of Hearts, that means Drake is going to be his reward is, that card deals with neediness and dependency. And a 2 of Spades Saturn means collaboration or difficulty collaborating. Saturn is where you run into issues. So 2 of Spades and Saturn is 2 ways you can play that card. If you have a 2 of Spades in your Saturn, 2 things are going to happen. On the high side of that card, you're going to have amazing collaborative efforts. You're going to work with people. You're going to have a partnership that's going to completely merge with what you want, and it's going to help you grow and be better. On the low side, you're going to have confrontation with like your enemy. That's also the card on the low side of it, is facing your enemy. 2 of Spades is direct conflict, direct confrontation with something you don't get along with on the low side. Oof. Oh, and he had a 7 of Hearts Uranus. That means pushing the boundaries. Pushing boundaries. And an 8 of Hearts Neptune. That means, oh yeah, revelation of the truth. Yeah, this nigga Drake's cards played out on the high end and the low end. They played out well for the attention. They played out well for, there's a Jack of Spades, there's a thief. There's somebody in his environment that ain't doing right by him. Jack of Spades. Yeah, so it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot. So Drake's cards this week are very interesting. They are very interesting. They're playing out. Let's see, do I have Kendrick's birthday in here? No, I don't. I know it's June 17th. What year is Kendrick born in? I know he got my birthday June 17th. King of Clubs like a motherfucker. I hate reading my own card. What year was K-Dot born? 1989? Let me see. 1987. 1987. I've had to do readings before with people with my exact birthday. Oh my God, that's hard. Same birthday, same year. That shit was hard. Because it was like, how do I divide the line between reading me and what's going on with me and him? It was tough. But I got through it. They left me a 5-star review too. Of course, that's Gemini, the greatest sign ever. This is what I'm going to need y'all to do. Since Geminis are the greatest sign ever, and I just have, I don't know why God made Gemini the greatest sign ever, and God happened to make me a Gemini. Donate to the Geminis the greatest sign ever. Cash App, $ DeJuan Brown. Especially you Libra motherfuckers, y'all owe us. If you a Libra, if you a Capricorn, if you a Taurus, if you a Scorpio, if you a Virgo, a Leo, Sagittarius, y'all off the hook because my moon sign is Sagittarius. Y'all off the hook. If you a Cancer, y'all owe us because we got to deal with y'all shit every goddamn day as Geminis. Y'all owe Geminis. Every sign out there, Taurus, especially you Taurus motherfuckers, you stubborn bastards, it's your season right now. But y'all owe Geminis for not going full K-Dot on your monkey ass. Especially you particular ass Virgos. Y'all owe us Geminis. You niggas ain't shit. I'm just playing. But no, I'm not playing about the Cash App. Y'all can go and hit that. Y'all go and hit that. Let me pull up Kendrick's week. What's going on in his week? Today is the last day of his week. All right, let me put it up on the screen. Yeah, we Geminis are innocent, man. We got 2 personalities, and both of our personalities are nothing but fun and love. Some of us got 3 or 4 personalities. I probably got 10, but that's besides the point. They're all fun and love, all right? So if you're a Leo, if you're a Cancer, if you're a Capricorn, Taurus, Sagittarius, Libra, you weird motherfuckers, y'all owe us. If you're an Aquarius, if you're an Aries, especially you Aries, y'all niggas like fighting too much. We Geminis are peaceful. Y'all owe us Geminis for being too violent. Aries, if you're Aries, donate to a Gemini because y'all violent. Y'all owe us because y'all mean and violent. Oh, she has got a Cash App. Yeah. Yep. I got another Cash App. Okay, I got a Cash App from a Virgo. Thank you, you stubborn motherfucker. Tom, the Virgo. All right, what's going on in Kendrick's week? He has a King of Diamonds too in his environment, so that means he's going to make a lot of money this week. This is translated into a lot of money for Kendrick. Kung Fu Kenny also has a 9 of spades, but remember I told y'all before? This is interesting. Man, look, didn't I tell y'all if Drake has if he had his 9 of spades in Jupiter, it would read different? Well, guess who has a 9 of spades in Jupiter? Kendrick. This is funny. Drake's 9 of spades is in his moon. So that means he's dealing with a crossroads kind of about, who he is, identity, revelation of who's around him. Kendrick's 9 of spades is in Jupiter. So that means this is a week of somewhat of a graduation for him. Seeing through the illusion. With Drake's 9 of spades in his moon, he's encapsulated within the illusion. Kendrick's 9 of spades in Jupiter is a graduation through the illusion. Seeing through the illusion, going past the illusion. That's the 9 of spades is in Jupiter. And so on the day, on May 4th, when Drake was dealing with a 3 of spades confrontation, direct confrontation, Kendrick in his Jupiter card was dealing with that 9 of spades in Jupiter, was dealing with revelation, uncovering. This is wild. This is wild. Oh, and Kendrick had a King of Spades as his Mercury card. For the King of Clubs, they both had a King of Spades Mercury. Wow. No. Drake had a King of Hearts, the emotional, in his Mercury. That meant he was speaking from emotion. Kendrick had a King of Spades. That's the God card. King of Spades is the highest card in the deck. See, the King of Spades is an interesting card. The King of Spades represents New Year's Day. It's only one King of Spades day of the year that represents January 1st. It's the highest card of the deck. If you open up a brand new set of cards, this is card number 52. Card start, Ace of Hearts is the first card of the deck. This is card 52. The reason why we call it the King of the God card is it's the card that has every energy within every card under it. It can be whatever it wants to be at any time it wants to be. And it's the card of the final judgment. The card of the last judgment. And Kendrick, this past week, had the final judgment in his Mercury. And Mercury is the planet of communication. Mercury is how we communicate. So it's in his communication house, he's dealing with direct confrontation. The card of the God deals with things directly. King of Hearts deals with it more on an emotional level. In Kendrick's Venus card last week, he had the King of Hearts there. King of Hearts, the Venus card is a card of the lifestyle. That's the card of your lifestyle. And the King of Hearts is the conqueror of emotions, comfortable life. With it being in Venus. This was a good and a bad week for Drake to go to battle. Good because of that 10 of clubs he has in Saturn. That made him be very creative. That's a very creative card in Saturn. But if I was reading Drake, this wouldn't have been the week. Unless he wanted to make a lot of money, then if with the reward card of a King of Diamonds, if his end of the day his ultimate desire was to make a lot of money, then it was a great week for Drake to have a battle. If his ultimate desire was to look like the man and not have any egg on his face, then so yeah. I'm about to end this by saying, play your cards right. And black people, black men, we got to play our cards right. And following along in the line of, is this beef turning violent, too violent? Stop repeating what they say. Especially if you wasn't the one asking if the shooting at the Weeknd's house had anything to do with the music, considering the fact that Drake, a hip hop artist, sent the direct shot, no pun intended, at Amir, the person that he named directly, got shot at. Stop being culturally weak, fellas. And go to DewanB.com. I be having a lot of shit going on. For your readings, what y'all gonna do, I need y'all to go to DewanB.com, sign up for my email list. I'm working on episode 2 of the documentary. Donate now. We haven't had a donation in 7 days. We're working on the next leg of the documentary. Hit the GoFundMe right now. Go to the shop. Buy my Black American Music Family tee, artwork, my live drum sample packs. And then click on breakthroughcards.com to book now, book an appointment. You can book at breakthroughcards.com while I have like 50 some odd goddamn tabs open. So my shit moving slow. Get your individual reading. And also get your life coaching package. Individual and group. Relationship and individual. All right? Bi-monthly. And then this is your last week to get your mini readings at $50. They're about to go back up. They're about to go up to $65 next week. So get that this week, all right? I'm about to be up out of here. Play some music later on, but remember this. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. But with that being said, you see somebody doing weird shit with binders, yeah, no. See something, say, like, no, investigate. Pay attention. Don't look the other way. I'm not saying you got to call the police and give unfounded charges. No, I'm not saying that either. But you cannot not pay attention anymore. You see somebody texting in their 30s, texting a 14-year-old about boys. And I've had plenty of girls, 14-year-old, that I text, and my last job, and I mentored. And even now, some of my clients, I still deal with kids sometimes. But when we text, it's, did you do the interventions that we talked to help you increase your grades at school? Did you practice what we said you need to practice so your behaviors don't work the way they were working in school? If you're talking to a goddamn 14-year-old, it better be over some business that you have, that you handling them on some real stuff, some business shit. And I did that shit because on some company shit. On some company shit. You text no goddamn 14-year-old. I'll be goddamn, I text a 14-year-old, I miss you. What the fuck? Don't ignore weirdo behavior. And don't let niggas proven weirdos like Russell Simmons make you feel crazy for not ignoring weirdo behavior. All right? With that being said, remember this. I'm out. I'll come back on and do some music a little later, possibly. All right? Y'all have a good one.